Hi, I'm Steve Adubato. Welcome to the Tisch WNET studio here in the heart of Lincoln Center. It is my honor, it is our honor here at Public Television to welcome Marlo Thomas.
Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm in a play. I'm having a great time. And I get to be up very early in the morning to talk to you. But our producer's so excited. Joan Raffi, she loves you. She's more excited about this than anything else I've done to promote the show.
Well, listen, Clever Little Lies is the show. It is playing at the West Side Theater on 43rd Street, Off-Broadway. Talk about it.
Well, it's a romantic comedy. It's about two marriages, and it's about infidelity, which our author said so many comedies have been written about infidelity. But this has got a lot of surprise punches to it. It's so much fun to be on stage and hear an audience go, oh! They gasp, they make noise, you know. They don't just laugh, they make noise, because there's a lot of different sort of twists and turns. And then at the end, there's a real punch, because as funny as it all is, you can't have infidelity without having a punch. And I think that's what makes it good, because it really is very real.
How'd they get you? How'd they pull you into this?
Well, I read it. The David Saint, who is the director, I've worked with him 3 times, and Joe DiPetro, the author, said, can you get this to Marlo? And I started reading it, and I thought, oh, I know how to, I've seen this kind of thing. And then all of a sudden, it kept changing and changing. So I called David, and I thought, I really want to do this. Greg Malavy plays my husband. Kate Weatherhead and George Merrick are the son and the daughter-in-law. And they're great, and it's funny, and they're great actors. But what's great is that the audience is there alive, unlike here in television where they're not there, so you don't know how you're doing. We know how we're doing. We hear them laughing, we hear them gasping, we hear them real quiet when it gets serious at the end. It's quite a thrill to do the theater.
What's that do for you when you feel that? I mean, we'll talk about...
It's inspiring.
We'll talk about that other show you did a few years ago.
40 years ago.
Oh, come on. Was it that many?
Yes.
Doesn't seem like that.
You've got to get over it, Steve.
Hold on. It's not just me. It's millions of people who want to talk about that show called That Girl. We'll do that in a minute.
Okay.
Just talk to me a little bit about the visceral reaction you get from your audience. What does it feel like for you?
Well, it starts when I'm in my dressing room just finishing my makeup and I can hear them gathering. And you hear this noise of the people coming in, and and it gets louder and louder, and you think, oh boy, they're here to have a good time, and we have this little contract we're going to make in the dark. We're going to tell the story, and they're going to listen to the story. That's very exciting to me, and I'm the daughter of a storyteller. You know, my father was a nightclub comedian, so I'm very much into the storytelling of this.
We'll do. Can we talk about Danny Thomas in a second? Because the St. Jude work is so important. But the story in this play about a marriage and the challenges of marriage. Since 1980, you've been married to
Phil Donahue.
That guy. How was this for you to do this play, and how much do the two of you talk about this play?
Well, he's seen it 100 times, so there's not much left to talk about.
Does he critique?
No, we're very good about that. You don't stay married for 35 years if you criticize each other's work. So.
I'm sorry, can I take some notes?
No, but he told me he liked it right away. He read it first, too, before I did it, and he liked it. I did it in New Jersey first, at the George Street Playhouse with David
over in New Brunswick.
Right. Which is a great theater. I've done a couple of plays there. And the audience, you could feel it there, and then Joe DiPetro really started to rewrite it after that. So we brought it to New York, you know, honed down, so that it's really a perfect little 90-minute piece. And it's funny. You know, there's so few comedies. I'm so tired of sitting in the theater wondering, you know, when is this going to be over, and why am I giving up a year of my life here? It's only 2 hours, but it feels like a year. It's wonderful to go to the theater and have a good time. And people are happy when they leave, you know.
Talk about St. Jude.
Oh, St. Jude is my passion. I mean, I love my work as an actress, and God knows I love my husband. But St. Jude really has a piece of my soul. You know, since my father died, I've become very involved with it. And it started right after he died. I visited St. Jude, and I started meeting the children and their patients. And St. Jude is so extraordinary. I mean, we're saving lives every single day. There's no other hospital on earth that does what we do. We're a research center and a treatment center under one roof. Nobody pays for anything, not for travel or food or housing or any of the treatments that they get. And we've raised so many of the survival rates from 20% to 80%, from 4% with ALL to 94%. And nobody pays. One of the things that's really important, Steve, and why I'm always out there campaigning for St. Jude, is that we have to get 75% of our money from the public because we don't have any paying customers. and the average hospital only has to get 8% of their funds from the public. So the public is our lifeblood. So that's why we have our Thanksgiving program that started, that's a week of Thanksgiving, and will continues till the end of the year, where we say to the public, give thanks for the healthy kids in your life and give to those who are not. So you don't even get me started on St. Jude.
No, I'm sorry for doing that, but I also know how much you care. But I also know how committed you are to research. And before I do take the time we have left to talk about that girl, I need to ask you this. You're so committed to the research piece of this, the component. Do you believe, and you're such an optimistic person, do you believe that we are getting significantly closer to a cure for cancer?
I only know about children's cancer.
Talk about that.
The pediatric cancer. In *62, when my father opened the hospital, the cure rate, the survival rate for ALL, the most common form of cancer in children is acute lymphoblastic leukemia. That survival rate was 4%. And in *98, we announced 94% survival rate. So from 4% to 94%, from '62 to '98, that's certainly, you don't have to be an optimist to feel good about that.
It's extraordinary.
Yeah. And so we're doing that with all the diseases.
Okay. So give me the year.
What?
Give me the year that, did they come to you with a script? Do you develop
With
the
that
script?
girl?
Yes.
Well, trying to make it short, I did another pilot for ABC called Two's Company. And,
Two's Company.
Yeah, right. We were just one off.
Just one.
And Edgar Sherrick saw it, who's the head of programming, and Claire all saw it, and they didn't buy it. But they came to me and said, you're a television star, and we're going to find a show for you. And they sent me a lot of shows, a lot of scripts that I didn't like, and I went in to see them, and I said, look, every show you sent me is about a girl who's the wife of somebody, or the daughter of somebody, or the secretary of somebody. Have you ever thought of doing a show where the girl has the dream, where the girl is the somebody? And I gave them a copy of Feminine Mystique, and I said, this is where the world is headed. And so they said, do you think anybody would watch a show like that? And I said, I think they would. And so they took a chance on it. And there it was.
Anne-Marie.
Anne-Marie.
Whereas we're looking, oh my God, I'm looking at that. It's bringing me and millions of others back right now.
It was a wonderful part. It was a wonderfully written, and we had a ball. And Teddy Bessel, who played my boyfriend, Donald Hollinger, he's no longer with us, but what a darling, darling man he was, and what a great co-star. You know, when you have somebody that you really have a great chemistry with, and Teddy and I had it, I want you to come see Clever Little Lies, because Greg Malavia and I have that same chemistry.
Really?
Yeah, people really do believe that it's a long marriage, that we've been together a long time. And in fact, at the end of the show, he may or may not stay with me. And many women who've seen it said, oh, he's going to stay. He loves you. And I said to Greg, you've done that. That's not in the script. You've created this man, the look on his face, the way he touches her, that they believe that you love her. And that's not easy to do. I see a lot of plays and movies where I don't believe it at all that these people are together.
You know, you are, I'm not telling you anything you don't know, you are such a deep thinker. You're so philosophical in the way you look at these things, and you're a social activist.
Thank you.
And the way you're describing that girl, and hey, listen, you told the other powers that be, I believe that there is a place for this role, and why not let the woman play this role? And you changed society's view of things, but free to be. Talk about that in the time we have left. Go ahead.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, Free to Be was created for my niece. I was reading to my little niece, Dion, who's now 42 years old and is married and is a producer at Disney and has 2 little boys. And I was reading the books that she had in her bedroom, and they were terrible. They were the same old books where the prince comes along and everything is great. And I said to my sister, you got to come up with something better than this. And we couldn't find them. So I thought, okay, I'll make something for her. So I really created Free to Be You and Me for her. I wanted her to believe that she could be anything she wanted to be, that if she was a girl or if there was a boy, whoever they were, they could dream and their dream could come true. And not only that, but that boys and girls could share the world together. We have a lot of stories in Free to Be about boys and girls being friends. Because, you know, you separate boys and girls from play at school, you know? And then we expect them to grow up together and all of a sudden share the world and be sexually compatible and friends, and they don't have any background for that.
it made a difference. It continues to make a difference. You write for the Huffington Post. You've got all kinds of things going on.
My Mondays with Marlo on AOL.
Yeah. What do you do in your free time?
Yeah.
I want to thank you on behalf of everyone in public broadcasting.
Thank you, Steve.
For joining us here in our Tisch WNET studio. And we wish you nothing but the best. Can I plug the play again? Do you mind?
Oh. Oh, be my guest.
Yes, it's called Clever Little Lies. And it's at the...
West Side Theater on 43rd Street. West 43rd Street. You'll love it. It's truly, truly a good play and very funny.
We encourage everyone to go see it, and
Yes.
I'll be seeing it with my wife. And I thank you so much, Marla.
Thank you for having me.
All the best.
Yes, thank you.
It was great.
Bye.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Health Republic Insurance of New Jersey, Bergen Community College, the North Ward Center, Josh S. Weston, Cone Resnick, the Russell Berry Foundation, and by TD Bank. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.